Hello beautiful people, it's me Ani XOXO here and welcome to my channel. Can you guys believe this is my first video for the year of 2017? I just want to say Happy New Year to you lovely people out there, and if you're watching my channel, I hope you guys had a beautiful and lovely holiday. So I was reading an article about this woman who was talking about a relationship that she had with another woman, and she was talking about basically how that relationship, how, talking about basically the outlook on the breakup and, when things ended, how she, continued to live her life again without that person. I want to talk to you guys about that because I was inspired by that article, and I want to talk to you guys about what I learned from my very first breakup and how I survived it. I can say that in my life I've only been in two relationships my whole life, and this relationship was my very first relationship, my very first boyfriend, and I was 20 years old when it happened. And I'm not that old, so I remember it like it was yesterday. And this isn't my son's father, by the way. This relationship happened long ago, in the summertime, and you know how summer love is when you're young. You're bursting with confetti in your stomach, fireworks, everything. It's summertime, and the heat is in the air, love is in the air, and the passion, everything is just there, everything's just right. Well, I can say that that relationship began very quickly and it ended very quickly because I eventually got dumped. And what I learned after a month and a half of crying, blaming myself for not being the right person, blaming myself for stuff that I had no control over. I dealt with a lot of abandonment in that relationship. And what I mean is that, I don't think it's necessarily good that if you have a boyfriend, that if you've seen him on Monday, you don't talk to him until next Monday. And I had to look at that. I'm like, that's not good. And I had to look at the fact that, the person that was in a relationship, he used to drink a lot. He had a drinking problem. And I know what a drinking problem looks like to have one. But it took me a month after, after I got dumped to realize that, this person had a drinking problem. You definitely dodged the bullet. It wasn't an abusive, violent relationship or anything like that. It was actually, we had some fun times. And I think that's probably what I miss. And I think also a thing that I miss out of that relationship after he dumped me was that I was afraid of being, pushed to the side. I was afraid of that happening because being dumped is something that nobody wants to go through because we all blame ourselves for stuff that we have no control over. And then I had to look at the history and the pattern of certain things. For example, like he came from, his dad left his mom. His dad was in a relationship with his mom. They were married. And then, I think when he was about 5 years old, his dad got in the car, started the car and left, lived a different life in a different state, and actually wound up dying. And I felt as though the person that I was in a relationship with, he had a problem with every time somebody got close to him, he would leave. And I think every time I got, even closer and closer to him, he would leave. He would feel scared. He didn't know how to open up to me. And I remember one time he told me, but I was like, oh, it's just bull crap. I remember hearing from different people that knew him that would say, yeah, he doesn't know how to open up. He has a problem when it comes to that. And instead of him confronting it, he wound up leaving. And I cried, of course. I cried. I, kept blaming myself, beating myself up about it. But then I realized after, a month of, you know, going through that, crying and all that, I'm like, you know what? It's okay to cry because crying cleanses the soul. At the end of the day, this is something that you don't have any control over. And I learned to just basically to be by myself after that relationship. I was by myself for a year, and I made sure that I was by myself for a year before I met anybody else. And that made me feel comfortable because I got to know myself again. Because I had been with myself before I met him. I had been with myself. Yeah, I talked to people, but I never had a relationship like how me and him had. And where I could, claim somebody and somebody could claim me. And I was getting to know myself after that breakup, and I got to know myself very well to the point where I would just come home, be by myself, and then my friends, I would hang out with my friends. I would do a lot of reading. I would go to the park and meditate. I would pray a lot. Got to know God a lot. And I would cry and get upset, and I listened to my Alanis Morissette, and I listened to Phil Collins' "Coming in the Air at Night," and I would cry. But then I realized out of that relationship. There's just certain things you have no control over. And people, everybody comes with a package. And you just have to learn to accept it. And then there's some people that you are not in a relationship with them because God gives you so many signs, and you just have to realize that you dodged so many bullets when that breakup ended. And if somebody doesn't want to be with you, you just have to accept the fact that they don't want to be with you. It is not your fault. And that's what I had to learn from that relationship. So this is a very short video, but I hope this is informative to you guys out there. If you're going through a bad romance or a bad breakup, don't blame yourself. There's so many things out there that you just can't control, and you're gonna get over it. And it's okay to cry because it cleanses the soul. I hope this was informative to you guys. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe. Tell me about your first relationship, so what you had to go through, or your bad breakup or relationship that you went through. Alright, I'm Yanni XOXO, and I'm signing off. Have a beautiful, blessed day.